Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. I hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you for being here on this Monday afternoon. How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone is doing well. And thank you for being here today. I really appreciate the fact that everyone is sharing the videos that I'm posting here because I am getting comments about how much people are being helped for just being here and listening to the messages. I like to share my personal experiences here because, as I state, that everything that I share here is what helped me. I am not a certified therapist of any sort. I am sharing my personal experiences as to what's helped me and how I'm still getting through the grieving process, and how little things that I do step by step is part of the healing process, and it helps me to get better. It's been 3 years since the losses, like I said, 10 people, my pet, etc. But slowly but surely things are improving. I will never get over these losses, but I can get through them because these people who are a part of my life meant so much to me, and they're no longer here. And I keep their memory alive, especially my mom, through storytelling and remembering the good times and sharing that. And I do that a lot when I'm speaking with my therapist as well, because I never want the memory of any of these individuals to die. And this is what I'm sharing with you today. Keep the memory of your passed over loved ones alive, through storytelling. Remember the good times that you had with these loved ones, and share that with others. And for those who encounter people who have lost loved ones, what you can do to be there, I can say for myself that it would have meant so much to me to just have people to be there to just listen. They can't bring these people back. None of us can. But what I needed is for someone to just listen. And that's why I still do therapy, because my therapist does that. If I just want to talk and he just listens to what I have to say and what I'm feeling and etc. That's important when you're going through the grieving process. And if you don't have that, give yourself the nurturing and the love that you need if you can't get it from anyone else. And that's what I had to learn through this whole process, is to love me, love Lisa. And it doesn't matter what anybody else feel. I matter. We all matter. And especially when we're grieving and going through depression and all these different emotions affiliated with it, we matter. And we have to know that and never lose hope. So the title today of this video is to never lose hope. But before I go any further, I want to talk about a story about gossip, because a lot of that goes around. And when someone is trying to help other people, especially when you have a platform and you have information, and you're sharing your experiences and positive things to help other people, some people may not like that, or for whatever reason. And they will go around spreading gossip. And I want to talk about gossip, but I want to use it in a metaphor. When I was in college, I'll use it in this way. When I was in college, I had to learn how to write papers without plagiarism. Otherwise your paper gets dismissed, you fail, you know, you don't pass, that's it. And the professors talk a whole lot about plagiarism and the consequences of it, etc. So it was important for us to cite the sources. Like if we reference what someone said from a story that we had to read and we had to implement into most of my papers were like 15 pages or so, and we had to implement that information into the paper, we had to cite the source. Otherwise, it's just, you fail or you get a very low grade. And one of the ways we had to do that is by using an MLA or APA style. And in that, and that's usually at the last page in a reference section where we reference the source where we took the information from, and it has to be done in a certain way. Otherwise, they take points off. So if we didn't do that, you automatically fail the paper, So I had to learn that, and I made sure I didn't do that because we heard this over and over again from the professor, that how important it was to our grade. And anything that we did, we had to back it up with where we got the information from. And the reason why I'm using this to help people understand that when someone tells you something about a person, especially someone you really don't know or whatever it is, and instead of just believing what someone tells you, find out if the situation that is being discussed is true. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to find out it's not true. And I never believe what people tell me. Even when I was in a religious setting growing up, I used to find myself getting into conflict because I would question things. Why do people, okay, you said this is how this is. But then I did research and found out it's not like that. And they would get upset with me. But I'm not a type of person to just believe what anybody tell me. I try to dig deeper to see if what I'm being told is the truth. And that's what I think is wrong in this world today, that people can gossip about someone, especially vicious gossip, and say things about a person, things that they've never done, that they would never do because it's not who they are. But people are quick to jump on a bandwagon and believe these vicious lies. So we need to stop and think about what we're being told, who is telling us. And it doesn't matter, if it's a high official person or whoever. Think about what it's being told to you. And if you don't know the person, research and find out. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to find out what's being told is not true. And because it seems like people don't research things, they just go with the flow. Oh, it has to be true because this particular person said it. And 9 times out of 10, there's no truth to it. And people are doing these things because they're envious or whatever other reasons. But, and I want to address that. I don't want to continue to address it, but I want to address it here on the channel. And that way, so research what you're being told before you believe it to be the truth, and like I said, a lot of times you're going to find out it's not true at all. So I address that. I have a little outline here. Before I get on, I listen to music, I do a little outline, and then I just speak, from experiences. So moving on, I decided it was, let me tell you about when I decided it was time for me to do healing. During the shutdown, it was difficult. We couldn't go outside at first. Many of you remember only to go to the supermarket and then back in the house. And we really didn't know what was going on back then until we started to find out more information about COVID, etc. And we were wearing masks all the time. During that time, it was one of the lowest point in my life, people. Like I said in previous videos, I lost 10 people, my dog, and the empty nest syndrome because my son had took off to stay in New York, and he finished college, and I was just used to being around a lot of people, and boom, it wasn't like that anymore. And I had hit the lowest point, all these deaths, COVID, and then you turn on the news and you see all these body bags of people piled up, just dying, and they were dying so quickly they didn't have anywhere to put them. And it was just a time of chaos and just doom and gloom. And I got to the lowest point of my life where, especially after my mother passed away, just ending relationship because I couldn't handle anything at that time when I lost my mother. I wasn't handling any relationship, nothing. I was just in a place of despair on my knees. And then I got to a point where I was angry with God. Why all of this is happening? Losing all these people out of my life. And then the people who were there were not really there for me. And people, I started to have this disconnect from other people because they were not understanding my grief. And I couldn't help it. I would be out in a store. I would see something. I saw a picture, something that reminded me of something related to my mother. And I had to push the cart to the side with the groceries and leave the store. And I just broke down in the car crying hysterically. And I had never been like that. And this is why I'm talking to you guys about my experiences, because some people are out there who are going through these experiences and they're not sharing what they're feeling. And it's important to take care of your physical and mental health, because I was all over the place back then. And it was just felt like the wall was closing in and getting, the space was getting smaller and smaller, that kind of feeling. And I was having these argument prayers with God. And finally, I had to realize that I had to love me, because what was happening as I started to do the therapy and do the work, which took a while for me to do because I didn't want that mirror being shown in my face, but it was necessary because I was too subservient to other people, helping other people all the time and not, caring about my own needs. Well, neglecting, I should say, my own needs to help others, and never saying no. When someone needs help, they call me. Okay, I'm running, skipping and hopping to help others. But yet I am not handling my own situations and things that needed to be handled because I'm busy being subservient to others. And I had to learn this is how to say no. This is not okay. And as I started to address these things in therapy and, just going to these little groups and just sharing and hearing other people's story has helped me. And then I started to love on me. Okay, nobody's there for me. I love me. That's important. God loves me. That's important. Okay, I do matter. And for those out there who think you don't matter, you do matter. Never let anyone tell you that you don't matter. Never lose hope. And if they don't think you matter, and when someone wants to make you feel bad and like 2 cents or hurtful or etc. while you're going, especially while you're going through grief, set boundaries. And that's what I had to do. But my boundaries in my case were being crossed over and over again. So I had to cut off, block, and delete. And that's why I always talk about that, because boundaries were being crossed. And to me, it's a huge level of disrespect. And oh, you don't matter. Oh, please, whatever. And I just cut off, block, and delete. I'm not playing. And this is not a game. We're talking about my mental and physical health. That's not a game. I matter. And never allow anyone to make you feel anything, less than what you should feel, because you do matter. And it's important. I tell everybody, every video that I post here, to look in your area, Google a therapist and find one that you vibe with so that you can do therapy weekly to help yourself, to get better. Have that outlet for the pain. Otherwise, the pain will be stagnated. And when you're stagnated, there's no expansion, there's no growth. And then there's no healing to the physical and mental health, which is so important. And that was what I needed to do. I had to stand up for myself and say, I do matter. If other people didn't think I mattered, boundaries, cross boundaries, cut off, block, delete. At first, I used to feel bad about it, but then after a while, I didn't, because this is me, and if it shows a lack of respect to who I am and what I was going through. Like it didn't matter. It did matter. It affected every area of my life. And that's why I talk about it all the time. And I use myself in these examples, because other people who are listening, someone somewhere, or a few people who get these videos are hearing this message. They're going through depression. They're going through really grief to the point where they're isolating, they don't know what to do, and they don't feel like they matter. You do matter. We all go through something in this life, but never give up hope. Never lose hope, because when you lose hope, that's it. It's over. It's done. I had to learn to love me, just taking a time out, listen to music, take walks. And if no one wants to give you flowers or gifts, go buy yourself gifts. You know, Nurture yourself, nurture that inner child that's hurting and in pain. And that's what I do. Go buy my own flowers, go buy whatever I like for me. I don't have to wait on somebody else. I love me. God loves me. And mostly after the anger and everything that I went through, I stay in prayer with God. God got me. He has me and lifted me up. Believe me, people, because I was in a really low, bad place for a long time. And when I saw the people who were around me who didn't care about that, I just had to set boundaries and cut off. And I feel so much better now. I do still have my days. Sunday is a hard day for me, especially Sunday night, because I used to spend a lot of time on Sunday with my mom. And just knowing she's not here, and each day and year that goes by, it just clicks with me even more that she's not here. And it's hurtful. But learning to love me, and what I do now is, as I get better, talking about my experiences, because everything I've gone through here and how I'm getting better little by little is by taking care of myself. And that's what people need to do who are going through this grief. Make sure you take care of your physical and mental health, because without that, there's nothing else. There's nothing left. You have to take care of your physical and mental health. Otherwise, you can't give anything to anyone else or even to yourself. And that's important. You do matter. So never tell yourself that you don't. Turning pain. What I'm doing here is learning. I've learned to turn pain into a purpose, and purpose into power, and power, into hope, because I stay in prayer with God all the time, and God has been helping me and doing some great things in my life. And this channel is expanding, and I'm so happy about that. People are sending comments, people are subscribing. Keep sharing, and keep sharing this channel with others, because people need to hear the message. And one other thing I want to say is that not everybody is going to share what they're going through while they're grieving. Some people don't want to share, or, they are somewhere in a corner silently grieving. Please take care of your mental and physical health. And as I stated, you can research whatever state that you live in, research a therapist, and please reach out to one. And if you don't vibe with that one, find one that you do. It's going to make you feel a whole lot better. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing venture is nothing gain. But you have to reach out and make the first step. Take the first step. It's like a baby who just gets up to walk. They don't just get up and walk. They take baby steps, and then one day they're walking. So this is a process. In order to get through it, you have to go through, you have to take the initiative. And that's what's important here. I hope this message has helped you. Please share this video with others. I will be back with a new message in a day or two. And please, please never give up hope. Know that if I can do these things, which was difficult for me because I didn't have anyone around me to help me. All I had was God and myself. And if I can do it, you can do it as well. Continue to share this with someone, because people who go into depression, and if they're not taking care of their physical and mental health, the depression can turn into suicidal thoughts, and we don't want any of that. We want people to get the help they need. So please continue to share the channel. And if anyone wants to email me about a seminar in person or by Zoom, please send it to Lisa Vaughn 410@gmail.com. And that's Lisa Vaughn, VAUGHN 410@gmail.com. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate this. And please take care of your physical and mental health, and put yourself first. Thank you for being here. This is Lisa, shedding love and light, and I will see you again in a couple of days. Bye for now.